Dear students, today we are going to discuss about satellites. First kind of satellites is nothing but geostationary satellites. Before going to discuss about geostationary satellites and polar satellites, we would like to know the benefits of satellites. Here, see here, when we take the radio waves frequency range is of 2 megahertz to 10 megahertz. 2 megahertz to 10 megahertz. So these are low frequency, that means low energy electromagnetic radiation. So if we take the earth surface like this, and see here, let us consider this is ionosphere. This is surface of earth. This is nothing but surface of earth. When signals released by radio antennas, their frequency range is from 2 megahertz to 10 megahertz. 2 megahertz to 10 megahertz. These radio waves will be reflected back from the ionosphere, so that these radio waves can be obtained by the radios which are on the surface of earth. But because of the curvature of the earth, these radio waves cannot be propagated up to certain distance. Okay, to overcome this, we need to project satellites around the earth surface, some height above the earth surface. This is one benefit of having satellites. Let us consider this is a satellite. In this case, the satellites absorb the energy, radio waves, and these satellites will reflect the radio waves onto the earth surface again. And in another case, if the frequency is greater than 10 megahertz, if the frequency is greater than critical frequency, in the case of television waves, the frequency is higher. That means the energy of the television rays are more. So in that case, high energetic television rays will be penetrated through ionosphere. They will not be reflected back onto the earth surface. To avoid this, we need to project the satellites some height above the earth surface. So these satellites receive the TV signals, and they will be sent back onto the earth surface, so that we are receiving TV signals as well. So these are the main benefits of having satellites. We are going to discuss about geostationary satellites first. Let us consider this is nothing but earth surface. This is the earth, and I am projecting a satellite some height above the earth surface. See here, let us consider this is nothing but H, and this is center of earth, and this is nothing but radius of earth. So this pink color is nothing but this is the earth surface. Okay, let us consider mass of the earth is nothing but me. Here I am projecting a satellite in this orbit, which is h above the earth surface. So total distance r is equal to re plus h. Total distance r equal to re plus h in this case. So here I would like to find out the time period of this satellite. Time period of this satellite is nothing but t is equal to 2 pi into re plus h to the power of 3 by 2 divided by root GME. Okay, so here squaring on both sides will get t square equal to 4 pi square into re plus h to the power of 3 divided by GME. On cross multiplying, we will get t square GME divided by 4 pi square is equal to re plus h to the power of 3. Okay, when this 3 comes to the left side, it will become t square GME divided by 4 pi square whole to the power of 1 by 3 is equal to Ra plus H. Okay, we need to find out the H above the surface of Earth in order to make the time period of satellite. Let us take time period of satellite. Let us take time period of satellite. T is equal to 24 hours. That is same as the time period of Earth rotation about its own axis. So here H, equation for H is given by T square GME divided by 4 pi square to the power of 1 by 3 minus Re. Here substitute T value as 24 hours. G value is nothing but G is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square, and ME is nothing but mass of the earth. Mass of the earth is approximately 5.98 into 10 to the power of 24 kilograms, and 4 is constant, pi is constant, and the radius of earth is approximately is equal to 6,400 kilometers. By substituting all the values, you will get H value as H is equal to 35,800 kilometers. So when you project a satellite in a orbit in such a way that the time period of this orbit, this satellite, is equal to 24 hours, which is same as the time period of Earth about its own axis. Rotation of Earth, time period of rotation of Earth about its own axis. When satellite is projected 35,800 kilometers above from the Earth surface, the time period of satellite, which is equal to time period of satellite, if we project the satellite in such a way that the height above the Earth surface is equal to 35,800 kilometers, then time period of satellite is equal to time period of rotation of Earth, time period of rotation of Earth about its own axis, about its own axis. So in that case, when you look the satellite, when you see the satellite from Earth surface, as the time period of Earth and time period of revolving satellite is same, the satellite appears to be at rest, appears to be at stationary. So that we call them as, so we call this satellite as geostationary satellite. Why we call this as geostationary satellite? Because when we view from the surface of Earth, as the time period of Earth rotation and time period of satellite both are same, so the satellite appears to be at stationary. So now I am defining if the time period of the satellite is same as the rotation of Earth, then the satellite appears to be stationary. So these satellites are called as geostationary satellites. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about another kind of satellites. Those are polar satellites. These satellites are low altitude satellites low altitude satellites, but they go around the poles of the earth in a north to south direction. Whereas earth rotates around its own axis in an east to west direction. This is about polar satellites. The height above the surface of Earth is nearly 500 to 800 kilometers, and time period of polar satellites is around 100 to 110 minutes. Time taken to complete one revolution around the Earth's surface for polar satellites is around 100 to 110 minutes, is around 2 hours approximately. Weightlessness. Another topic is weightlessness. Dear students, see here, when you stand on the surface of Earth, you feel your own weight because the weight is acting downwards. Weight is nothing but force exerted by Earth on the object is called weight. So there is another upward force that is balancing the downward force, weight. This is nothing but normal force exerted by Earth surface on the person. Because of this normal force, we feel some weight. We feel our own weight. Okay, this is one kind of example. And another example is when you attach a spring mass system or spring balance to the ceiling. Here I am attaching some mass M. Okay, this is a spring balance. So because we are attaching some mass to the spring, so there exists gravitational force downwards, and there is a spring force also. That spring force is exerting in upward direction. Okay, so because of this spring force, the weight is pulling down on the spring. So spring also exert equal and opposite force on the object from Newton's third law of motion. So because of the upward force, this spring will show us some reading. It will indicate some weight of the object because of the upward spring force. When this spring is cut at the top ceiling, there is no upward force. Upward spring force is equal to 0 in this case. Therefore, spring mass system will be in free fall. And free fall with acceleration Ay is equal to minus g. It is in free fall motion with acceleration Ay is equal to minus g. So that the spring, so this mass will feel weightlessness. So that this mass will feel weightlessness. When the objects moving downwards with acceleration that is equal to acceleration due to gravity, so those masses will feel weightlessness. We have already discussed in 6th chapter, that is in apparent weight. Okay, I will discuss again here. See here, when the lift is there, elevator is there, when a person is there in the elevator, consider this elevator is downward accelerating, acceleration is downwards. How many forces are there? One is weight and another one is nothing but upward force. Here in this case tension force is there upwards. So here I am drawing from Newton's second law of motion, sigma F equal to m into A. So what are the forces acting? One is upward tension force, another one is downward gravitational force, T plus or minus mg. Here tension force is nothing but Ft. T plus or minus mg is equal to m into acceleration is downwards. So I am keeping it as just minus A. So Ft is equal to mg minus ma. Okay, so F equal to Ft is equal to m into g minus a here. Okay, so if the acceleration is not equal to g, in that case he will feel some lesser weight. Ft is called as apparent weight here. Apparent weight. Tension force, upward force. Because of this upward force, we feel some apparent weight. As the acceleration is downward, so the apparent weight is lesser than original weight. So when this thread is cut, that means when there is no attachment between ceiling and the elevator, in that case the object will be under free fall. So the acceleration is equal to acceleration due to gravity in that case. So Ft is equal to m into g minus g. So net force is equal to 0. Net upward force is equal to 0 in this case. That means weightlessness. So all the persons which are in the satellites, they feel weightlessness because all the particles they are appear to move towards to the earth with acceleration that is equal to acceleration due to gravity. When the particles moves with an acceleration that is equal to acceleration due to gravity, all the particles will feel weightlessness because apparent weight is equal to 0 if they fall through acceleration due to gravity. Dear students, now we are going to discuss about problem set in this video. So here the first problem is about see here he has given g value. G is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. The radius of earth is approximately equal to 6400 kilometers and mass of the earth is approximately is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kilograms. So here the answer for first question is two spherical balls each of mass 1 kg. One spherical ball with 1 kg, another spherical ball with 1 kg are placed 1 centimeter apart. The distance r is equal to 1 centimeter, that is nothing but 0.01 meters. 0.01 meters. Find the gravitational force of attraction between them. Gravitational force of attraction is nothing but g m1 m2 by r square. Here m1 equal to 1 kg and m2 is also equal to 1 kg. R equal to 0.01 meters. Substitute in this formula, you will get the answer. Okay. Next, second question. So here in the second question, the mass of a ball is 4 times the mass of another ball. Mass of first ball m1 equal to 4 times the mass of another ball. Let us consider mass m1 is equal to m and mass of the second ball is equal to 4 times the mass of first ball. M2 equal to 4m1 or m1 equal to simply I consider m, so that is 4m. So m1 equal to m, m2 is equal to 4 times the mass of the first ball. When these balls are separated by a distance of 10 centimeters, one is mass m, another one is 4m, and these two are separated by a distance of are equal to 10 centimeters, that is 0.1 meter. And the force of gravity, gravitational force F is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 7 newtons. Find the masses of the two balls. What is m1? m1 equal to m. If you know the m value, you can find out m1. And also you should find out m2. m2 is nothing but 4m. Okay. So here the formula is F equal to G m1 m2 by r square. Here F is nothing but 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 7 is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11. m1 is nothing but how much? Simply m. m2 is equal to 4m divided by r square. R square is nothing but 0.1 square. By solving this, so 4m square, here you will get 1 is equal to 6.67 cancelled, 6.67 cancelled. 10 to the power of minus 7 is there, 10 to the power of minus 11 is there. So the remaining thing is 10 to the power of minus 4 into 4, m into m is nothing but m square divided by 0.1 whole square. So here, see, by rearranging them, we will get 4m square is equal to 0.1 square into 10 to the power of 4. 10 to the power of 4. 0.1 square is nothing but 1 by 10. 1 by 10 whole square, that is 4m square is equal to 10 to the power of 2. By using calculator, you will get it. So m square is equal to 100 by 4. 100 by 4 is nothing but 25. So m is equal to root 25 is nothing but 5 kg. If m1 is equal to m equal to 5 kg, then m2 is equal to 4m, that is 4 into 5 kg, that is nothing but 20 kg. One mass is 5 kg, another mass is 20 kg. Now we are going to discuss about another problems. Problems number 3, 4 and 5. So now I am going to discuss about problem number 3, 4 and 5. Here the third problem is about three spherical balls of masses 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg are placed at the corners of an equilateral triangle of side 1 meter. So here I am drawing a equilateral triangle like this, and I am keeping 1 kg, 2 kg and 3 kg are placed at the corners of an equilateral triangle. Let us consider this is consider this is nothing but 2 kg, and let this is nothing but 3 kg, and this is nothing but 1 kg. Okay, each side with length is equal to 1 meter, 1 meter and 1 meter. Find the magnitude of gravitational force exerted by the 2 kg and 3 kg masses on the 1 kg mass. Force exerted by 2 kg on 1 kg is nothing but force exerted by 2 kg on 1 kg is attraction force. Let this is F1. F1 is nothing but force exerted by 2 kg on 1 kg. Another mass, 3 kg mass is also exerting force on 1 kg. So 3 kg mass attracts the 1 kg mass like this. So F2. Here F2 is nothing but force exerted by 3 kg on 1 kg. So force is nothing but G. M1 is nothing but 2 kg, M2 is nothing but 1 kg. M1, M2 by R square. R is equal to 1 square. This is nothing but simply you will get 2G. Similarly, G into M1 is nothing but 3 kg, M2 is 1 kg divided by R square. R square is nothing but 1 square. You will get 3G here. What is the angle for equilateral triangle? Angle theta is equal to 60. F1 equal to 2G, F2 equal to 3G, and angle between theta is nothing but 60 degrees. 60 degrees is angle between F1 and F2. So the magnitude of force is equal to under root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. Substitute F1 value, F2 value, cos theta value in this formula. You will get the answer for F as root 19G. Okay. Now I am going to discuss about problem number 4. Problem number 4. At a certain height above the earth surface, the acceleration due to gravity is 4% of its value at the surface of earth. So G at height h is equal to 4% of acceleration due to gravity on surface of earth. That means GH is equal to 0.04. 4% means 4 by 100. 4 by 100 is nothing but 0.04 into G. Okay. So here, this case, what is asked? He asked to find out, determine the height. So I am drawing a diagram here, earth diagram. Here on surface of earth, G value is equal to GME by RE square. And H above the surface of earth. H above the surface of earth. So total distance would be RE plus H. So this height is nothing but H. Total height from the center of earth is RE plus H. So GH, acceleration due to gravity at H above the surface is equal to GME by RE plus H whole square. So here I am dividing GH with G. Now I am dividing GH by G is equal to GME by RE plus H whole square divided by GME by RE square. GME by RE square. So here GME get cancels. So here GH is given as 0.04 into G divided by G is equal to, when this comes to numerator, RE square divided by RE plus H whole square. Substitute here G. So here this G and G cancels. So you will get 0.04 is equal to, RE is nothing but 6,400 kilometers whole square divided by 6,400 kilometers plus H whole square. Here unknown thing is H. By solving this, you will get H value. Okay. So now I am going to discuss about problem number 5. Problem number 5. Here problem number 5 is asking about a satellite is orbiting the earth at a height of 1000 kilometers. So here a fifth question is nothing but he has given that a satellite is orbiting the earth at a height h is equal to 1000 kilometers. So find its orbital speed. So orbital speed formula is nothing but under root of GME by RE plus H. Why I am taking ME here? Because it is orbiting around the earth surface. So here you know G value 6.67 into 10 to the power of -11 Newton meter square per kg square, and ME value as ME is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kg, and RE is nothing but radius of earth is equal to approximately 6400 kilometers, and H is given here 1000 kilometers. By substituting these values in this equation, you will get the answer. Okay. So now I am going to discuss about problem numbers 6, 7. Here, the problem number 6 is talking about a satellite orbits the Earth at a height which is equal to radius of Earth. H is equal to here radius of Earth, that is equal to 6400 kilometers. Find its orbital speed and period of revolution. So orbital speed is equal to under root of gme by re plus h. So here RE is equal to 6400 kilometers. H is also equal to 6400 kilometers. By substituting G value, mass of Earth, radius of Earth, H value, you will get the orbital speed here. You know the values of G, values of ME, values of RE. H is given as 6400 kilometers. Now, problem number 7. Part B. Here, the part B is nothing but is asking about a period of revolution. Time period T is equal to 2 pi into RE plus H to the power of 3 by 2 divided by root GME. So here 2 pi is known, RE is known, H is given, G value is known, mass of Earth is known. So by substituting all the values in this formula, you will get the answer for period of revolution. So now I am going to discuss about problem number 7. The gravitational force of attraction between two objects decreased by 36%. A force of attraction F dash is equal to decreased by 36%. That means 1 minus 36 by 100 decreased by 36% into original force F. So here F dash is equal to 0.64 F. 36% decreased. That means the new force F dash is equal to 64% of old force F. That means 64% means 64 by 100. That is 0.64 F. Okay. When the distance between them is increased by 4 meters, the new distance is equal to old distance is, let us consider old distance is R, and new distance R dash is equal to R plus 4 meters. Find the original distance between them. So what is the original distance R? So here F dash is equal to G M1 M2 by R dash square. R dash square, that is nothing but G. See here, between two masses M1 M2 by R dash square is nothing but R plus 4 whole square. Okay, and new old force F is nothing but G M1 M2 divided by R square. Okay, I am doing here F dash by F. F dash by F is equal to that means F dash is equal to how much? 0.64 F divided by F is equal to G M1 M2 by R plus 4 whole square divided by, I have written F dash value. Now I am writing F value. F equal to G M1 M2 by R square. Here G M1 M2 value, G M1 M2 value cancels. F and F cancels. So the remaining thing is 0.64 is equal to, when this r square in the denominator, this comes to numerator. So r square divided by r plus 4 whole square. So here the unknown thing is only r. By solving, you will get the answer for r is equal to 16 meters. 16 meters.